What's up, Silly Geese? Grab your popcorn, because today we're watching a movie that I swear I loved as a kid, but looking back, I have no idea how an adult let me watch this. Obviously, Cat in the Hat is based on the beloved Dr. Seuss movie, but it plays a lot less like a kid's movie, and a lot more like a what if a beloved children's character became a home invasion villain in a horror movie? Cat in the Hat follows Conrad and Sally as a 6-foot feline breaks into their home, trashes the place, psychologically manipulates them, and then somehow convinces them that it's all their fault. With how the adults act in this movie, if it came out today, every single one of them would be canceled. The movie starts with a narrator reading lines from the actual Dr. Seuss book, and I hate this tactic, especially because he takes like a couple of minutes to explain what a town is.
It's a town that's not huge, but quite big enough for buyers and sellers to sell and buy stuff.
But then we meet Joan. She's the real estate mogul mom who is tired of her babysitter.
Babysitters don't leave, they sit. Baby leavers leave.
Yeah, you tell him, Joan! And her boss, Mr. Humperflube, who fires this guy for touching him and not for his awful haircut.
I wanted to thank you. Fired. I beg your pardon? Fired.
He's a clean freak who's hosting a party at Joan's house tonight, so the house has to be pristine, or she's fired! But for right now, Joan has to go home because, you know,
baby leavers leave.
So now we get to meet the kids. In this corner, we have an absolute menace who hates rules and tapes snack cakes to himself as body armor. It's Conrad! And we got Sally.
Do you know how hard it's getting to tell people that we're related?
Who's like your goody two-shoes, know-it-all sister. While Joan's explaining to the kids everything that's gonna happen tonight, Larry comes in, who's played by Alec Baldwin, and Joan calls him...
You are a saint.
Yeah, that didn't age too well. Larry is Joan's boyfriend, and he hates Conrad so much that he wants to send him off to
the Colonel Wilhelm Military Academy for Troubled Youth.
And I thought this was a little harsh for someone who just misbehaves and...
I don't like you.
Ah, there it is. He said that while Joan was out of the room, so she comes back in and he's got to act all cool like he likes the kids, which I guess means jumping like this.
Woman who I'm absolutely crazy about. Gosh!
Joan has a cake delivered for the party tonight by someone named Kate, who she assumes is a girl.
Kate's Catering. I'm here to do your party tonight.
Oh, hi. Where's Kate?
Congratulations, Joan. You are... Joan has to go back to work, so she gets a hold of another babysitter by the name of Mrs. Kwan. And oh, she's my favorite character in the whole movie. I mean, she's an icon. She's incredible. I mean, look how she shows up to work. She does things that only an iconic person like Mrs. Kwan can do, like barking at dogs.
Jenny's not my friend anymore.
Joan goes back to work, but not before saying the meanest thing a human can say to their literal child.
I wish I had a different mom.
Well, sometimes I wish the same thing.
And as soon as she leaves, Mrs. Kwan turns on what is easily the greatest show of all time.
You tell them, Guai Jiang.
But instantly falls asleep. She sleeps a lot in this movie. That's probably one critique of her. She might have narcolepsy. They don't really talk about it. With Mrs. Kwan asleep, the kids hear a bump upstairs and go to check it out, because that's what you should do. And, how'd he get here? The kids do what you'd expect them to do when a 6-foot feline shows up in their house. They run. And there's a weird chase scene. And yes, it's weird because he is an adult cat who has broken into their home. The chase scene ends under the bed, and he does this little weird leg shake. But soon after does his most criminal act. He scats at the kids.
Cat in the Hat. There's no doubt about that. I'm a super fundiferous feline.
And it's at this point I decided we need to make a list of charges for the cat. Let's see, we've got breaking and entering, stalking for sure, and scatting at minors. That's good for now. The cat hangs Mrs. Kwan in the closet and then brings out something called the funometer.
Yeah, it measures how fun you are.
Sally gets an awful score, of course.
Control freak.
And then Conrad gets this score. Sally starts to make some really good points.
How many shots?
And I'm starting to think that I'm being a little too hard on her. But I'm not being near as hard on her as the cat is, because the cat does this.
Aren't you precious?
So we're all cool with him hitting a child. That's what we're going to go with. Because now we go to a musical number.
The sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun. That is funny.
As the scene goes on, we find out that they have a fish. Not only do they have a fish, but they have a fish that can talk.
Currently in violation of 17 of your mother's rules.
city morgue.
And this is where I truly realized that I remember nothing of this movie. The cat burps like this, and it gave me flashbacks to Baby Bunting from Baby Geniuses. And then the cat says this.
I really should be going.
He just came here for this? That's it? The movie's over? And if he's gonna stay, there's some ground rules that need established.
Something magical and full of wonder. It's called a contract.
I don't think I have many kids that watch my channel, but if I do, let me go ahead and say this. If a cat comes into your home and tries to get you to sign legal documents with a bunch of old, similar-looking white men in the room, do not sign those documents. But Sally and Conrad don't watch my channel because they signed the document. And with all the legal hoops jumped through, the cat preps the couch for jumping.
Let's take a look under the hood.
I'm sorry, I get that this is a plumber joke, but he's showing his butt. He's exposing himself to children here. I mean, get the list back up. And then Larry shows up unannounced, bullies Sally for a little bit.
A little secret. Okay. Nobody likes a suck up.
Loots their fridge and their pantry. And then open nose sneezes? I can't with Larry. He sucks. I hate everything about it. Larry leaves, and then we get like 20 minutes of really nothing. They do like a cooking show. The cat cuts off his tail. The house gets destroyed. And then he pulls out a big old box with these two freaks in it.
Meet Thing 2 and Thing 1!
They look so much worse than I remember. Thing 1 wants to be called Thing 1, and Thing 2 wants to be called
My chocolate thunder!
Thing 2. They start absolutely destroying the house, and the kids are chasing them with nets. And while everyone is distracted, the crate that the cat brought into the house starts leaking interdimensional matter. Because that's something you should have on you at all times. And for some reason, the lock to the box is actually like a sentient crab, and it grabs onto the dog that they have. And then the dog escapes and runs away. We get this scene with Larry. It's just absurdly gross. He's getting all this stuff repossessed, I guess to show that he has, like, bad motives, but I don't think anybody watching this guy
Woman who I'm absolutely crazy about. Gosh.
thinks that he had any kind of right intentions. His scene does end with him seeing the dog getting out, so he calls Joan to snitch on Conrad so that Conrad gets sent to
The Colonel Wilhelm Military Academy for Troubled Youth.
the cat. Sally, Conrad, and the fish leave the house, but the fish won't stop blabbering on about how this is dangerous.
What will become of us? Your mother will lose her job, and we'll have to live on the street.
They find the dog, and the cat has a great plan.
All right, Nevins. Time to die.
Yep, let's go ahead and add premeditated attempted murder to the charge list. But while this is all happening, Sally starts to have some kind of weird mental breakdown because she sees a birthday party that she wasn't invited to, which feels really unnecessary until we get to the party. Because the piñata is a mascot of the cat, which means that this town knows who he is, are familiar with him enough to either fear or hate him, and have collectively decided that they need to beat him with sticks. The mascot somehow gets replaced with the actual cat, and Beans from Even Stevens as the bat.
Step out of my way.
We get some very suspect camera angles. With the dog still on the loose, Larry decides that it's his time to get the dog, take it to Joan, send Conrad to
The Colonel Wilhelm Military Academy for Troubled Youth.
And he also has a very high-end luxury car, despite the fact that they just repoed his tiny TV. The kids are really worried because they see that Larry's going to do this, and they know that there's no way that they can catch him. I mean, there's no way that an interdimensional feline has a rocket car, right?
Here she is, the super luxurious omnidirectional whatchamajigger.
Of course he does, which he lets Conrad drive, which Sally thinks is a bad idea, so he also lets Sally drive, which I guess is also apparently a bad idea. So then they all three drive.
Airbag. Standard.
He catches the dog and is about to take it to Joan's office, so they review their options. But none of these are plans, they're just statements. That being said, I would go with plan B.
Plan A, mess up a perfectly clean house. Done that. Plan B, cut your losses and ditch the kids. That could work. Plan C. Trick mom's boyfriend into handing over dog.
But they go with plan C, which involves the cat dressing like this.
Are you aware of the senseless wholesale slaughter of the flatulating acid-spitting Zimzizaru?
And making a petition that needs a big pin to sign, so big that Larry has to hand the dog to what is clearly a feline dressed like a hippie. And there's no way that this is gonna... It worked? Okay, sure. So they run off with the dog, and they go to some kind of weird cat rave. Scandally clad Paris Hilton in a kids movie. Paris Hilton, you are... They start to head home until the cat realizes that...
This is not my hat. I must have picked up the wrong hat back there.
So?
So? Without my hat, I'm just your garden variety 6-foot-tall talking cat.
Sure, why not? Larry goes to take Joan home to show her what the kids did, and Conrad starts to take a lot of the blame here.
This is all my fault. Such an idiot.
And no, he should not. A feline that is 6 feet tall broke into your home, absolutely created a terror, and then lost the only thing he needed to keep track of. But then they remember that they have Thing 1 and...
Chocolate Thunder!
So they have them steal Larry's car, and then impersonate police officers to pull over Larry and Joe. While they're pulled over and feeling a little rebellious, Larry decides to leave the car and steal the cop's motorcycle. And Larry comes busting in the door, and it's... clean.
What happened?
Just kidding, it's a tarp, and Larry falls to his death. So while they're gone, the crate has completely taken over the house, and now the cat, Sally, and Conrad all have to work together to get this thing shut. In their quest for the crate, they have to ride across the river, and I am sure that the cat has a boat or a submarine or something.
Right on schedule.
No, please don't tell me that you're gonna...
Ride, Mrs. Kwan?
Letting children ride you? Sadly, Mrs. Kwan is. They continue the ride, and I start to actually wonder, hey, why has this not been made into an amusement theme park ride? And then we get a Mac and Me level product placement.
You mean like at Universal Studios?
Back at the traffic stop, Joan is still there, and one of the things starts choking on paper.
I have to get home.
So she just leaves. They eventually find the crate, and they go to put the lock back onto the crate, and Sally starts to get sucked away into the interdimensional matter. And I am so sure that Conrad is going to take a heroic moment and stop and not put the lock on the crate to save Sally, and... Yeah, he sacrifices her. He says to trust him, but how would he possibly know how this is gonna go? But he does get the lock back on, and it does go back to normal, and no, it does not. Speaking of back to normal, Larry's alive. And it's here that the cat tells the kids that he planned this whole day, even...
The house getting trashed?
Yep.
Quinn taking Nevins?
Yep.
The only thing he didn't account for was...
Cutting off your tail?
Nope.
So they kick him out.
Out!
The only magic being with the capabilities of fixing this. Smart move. And they decide...
This was my fault. I'll take the blame.
Because that's apparently the moral of the story, is that if a 6-foot feline house-stalking imposter breaks into your house, destroys it, ruins his only chance of fixing it, and then leaves, it's your fault.
We should share the blame.
And apparently it really was the moral of the story, because now the cat can come back and fix everything. This movie might have invented gaslighting. So now the house actually is fixed, so he brings back out the funometer to see if they're the right kind of fun.
Looks like everything's in balance.
And he also kind of hints that they have a drug problem.
But you're still smoking way too many cigars, and you... Lay off the sauce.
Joan comes home and Mrs. Kwan gives this report on the kids.
Children were angels.
My girl Mrs. Kwan ain't no snitch. Larry comes back in looking like this and does try to explain what actually happened. But Joan dumps him on the spot here, as you would, and he takes the news really great.
Will you marry me, Joan?
Dude, read the room. We flash forward to the real estate party that night, and it's going great. And we wrap up this obscene story with a couple iconic scenes. The fish pole dancing. And Conrad being dressed like SpongeBob.
The family was whole.
And And it turns out the cat was the one doing the narration. So he plans these things. These are sought out, premeditated attacks that he then films for his own enjoyment. And thankfully, that ends the Cat in the Hat, and they go skipping off into the sunset. And just know that if a feline 6-foot tall figure shows up to your house, whatever happens for the rest of the day, that's your fault. But if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to officially join the Silly Geese gaggle, or check out one of these videos that YouTube thinks that you'll like. But until next time, stay silly, folks.